artists like Young Thug approach me, they get smoked.
Why wouldn't you be introducing the entirety of the video on the rule of completeness?
I was told that Mr. Wayne Carter, he's a performer known as Lil Wayne.
Mr. Wayne's not, Wayne Carter, Lil Wayne's not going to testify.
His first showing, his first appearance with that particular album was going to be in Lil Wayne's hometown.
No intention of calling him, so he's not a non-witness.
And that they were going to be bringing those, as he called it, those sticks.
You can't have it both ways.
DJ Academics makes a compilation video. If we provide to the court a non-hearsay purpose,
No, I'm not this time. No.
If you're new, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, that like, share, comment, and subscribe. Grab a seat. We finna dig deep.
At this time, I'm going to ask that you...
What's up, YouTube family, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Jay. And today, man, we definitely got to break down this Young Thug YSL Rico trial. Now, ironically, the jury was not present due to the jury that fell sick from yesterday. But today, the state, the judge, and the defense are definitely in the place going over the different motions that were filed from the state and as well as the motions filed from the defense. But ask yourself, is it enough for the jury to be convinced? Will Miss Love be able to sway the jury with this evidence, or will the judge strike it out before it even gets the opportunity to get in? Man, in this video, we're going to go over the different motions that were introduced today, as well as the number of celebrities who have been introduced to the case. It's like DJ Academics, The Game, Future, like the list goes on. If you're new, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you'll be able to get that drop whenever I drop as well. Hit that subscribe to always be notified, and make sure you hit the likes. Whether you're a Young Thug fan or an op, just do the job. Hit that button. Man, without further ado, grab a seat. We finna dig deep.
Dropped his album on a certain date, and that his first showing, his first appearance with that particular album was going to be in Lil Wayne's hometown of Holly Grove, Louisiana. And that they were going to be bringing those, as he called it, those sticks. And then he pans to the back of the people behind him, and Jimmy Winfrey is one of the people standing there with an assault rifle. And there are other people in that video of Defendant Williams with guns as well. So at the time, on the date, rather, that Lil Wayne made an appearance at the compound, Defendant Williams was in Lil Wayne's hometown of Holly Grove, Louisiana, apparently getting booed on stage. So this video, again, is intrinsic evidence of the state of the parties, state of the people who are involved in this case, one of the defendants and one of the victims.
Okay, so this is how we starting the day off with allegations and speculations. So we already know where this is going. So with these motions, it's interesting that she's stuck on this Lil Wayne bus shooting with Jimmy Winfrey, who, not to mention, has actually already been sentenced and been in jail for that. So it's not like he's about to get sentenced and go back for the same situation. That's double jeopardy. So I know the state's not pushing that, but it's interesting that the state is pushing the idea that it was ordered by Young Thug because Jeffrey Winfrey made it happen. But is Young Thug guilty by association? Does that prove Rico? Because another individual went and did another individual act. Why was Jimmy Winfrey the only person taken into custody when the situation or the shooting allegedly happened? Shouldn't it have been the whole YSL gang? Interesting. Let's dig.
Who? And then he goes on, that was posted on April the 1st, 2015. For the record, I don't like to start beef when these artists like Young Thug approach me, they get smoked. That's Lil Wayne's posting. That was on April the 1st, 2015. And these are all things that occurred before we get to the April the 26th shooting of Lil Wayne's bus. Additionally, Your Honor, as I said earlier, there's a video of the defendant, Jeffrey Williams, talking into the camera that he posted, saying that he was going to drop his album on a certain date, and that his first showing, his first appearance with that particular album was going to be in Lil Wayne's hometown of Holly Grove, Louisiana. And that they were going to be bringing those, as he called it, those sticks. And then he pans to the back of the people behind him, and Jimmy Winfrey is one of the people standing there with an assault rifle. And there are other people in that video of Defendant Williams with guns as well. So at the time, on the date, rather, that Lil Wayne made an appearance at the compound, Defendant Williams was in Lil Wayne's hometown of Holly Grove, Louisiana, apparently getting booed on stage. So this video, again, is intrinsic evidence of the state of the parties, state of the people who are involved in this case, one of the defendants and one of the victims.
Okay.
We can play that at the court's pleasure, for the court.
Okay.
Judge, that actually the Baker ruling would have no impact on this evidence.
And why?
Because this particular video that we are introducing is of a victim in this case, Dwayne Carter. And it is evidence of the relationship between him and a defendant in this case, as opposed to in Baker, the video was simply shown apparently for the prejudicial impact it would have on the jury. It didn't have any, there was no nexus, there's no relationship between the alleged murder in Baker and the video of the defendant with a gun or assault rifle, whatever it was, in Baker. There was literally no connection. It was, they argued, and on top of it, the prosecutor kept referencing the video as proof of his violent nature, his propensity to do certain things with guns. This is not that type of situation where there's not even a connection. It's not offered to show anyone's character. It's offered as evidence of the relationship between the aggrieved and the accused.
Now, I don't know if it's me or if it's just me, but it seems like Miss Love is kind of badgering. It's like she wants to prove a point that Young Thug is this so bad that it's almost like she's belittling him right there in the courtroom. Imagine having to sit over there with your head down and not be able to say anything to defend yourself as you listen to people characterize your character. Let's dig.
Okay. All right. Why would you be introducing the entirety of the video under the rule of completeness?
Well, we have, again, multiple videos capturing Lil Wayne's pronouncements at the concert. So we would not be introducing the one where DJ Academics makes a compilation video, because under the rule of completeness, the compilation video would not, it contains
Who made
difference.
the compilation video?
DJ Academics. And
Where
because
did he get these particular sources? What's his source document of these particular, of his compilation?
public sites online. He grabs snippets from online. And then in the middle of it, he also has his own commentary, if you will, written.
So, is there any shock value or name that the state won't use? Like, it's almost like this whole case is built off of allegations, snitching, and shock value. It's interesting because everything that she's saying is just strictly for shock value purposes. DJ Academics, y'all. So this right here should let all bloggers know, and not just bloggers, include myself, but all people. Pay attention what you post on social media, because anything that you say can and will be used against you. And that's on social media platforms, verbally, text messages, whatever it is, vanish mode. Pay attention. Snapchat, IG, delete, nothing's deleted. If the state wants it, the state can get it. If they need it, they can access it. Be mindful of what you say. But the audacity of them to bring Big Act in now. Now, granted, Act do be on some bullshit at times, but that's his job. But why y'all just not bringing this man's name into the Rico case? It's interesting. All the big bloggers that are all on the same wavelength, it's like interesting that all y'all's names keep popping up in Rico cases, but that's another subject. Let's dig.
Of these particular, of his compilation?
Public sites online. He grabs snippets from online. And then in the middle of it, he also has his own commentary, if you will, written.
As part of, are you trying to seek some of that that commentary?
No, what we're putting in, the only thing that the state intends to tender is the portion of that video pertaining to what Lil Wayne says about defendant Jeffrey Williams and Carter 6, and why people should not buy Jeffrey Williams music, should not listen to it. Because if you're a Lil Wayne fan, you know that that's an insult to Lil Wayne.
All right.
And we can.
All right. Let me
play that.
before it's played, let me give Mr. Steele an opportunity to be heard on that issue.
Okay. So to play devil's advocate, okay, she did state a few facts in that, mixed in with a whole bunch of allegations and speculations, just to keep it G. Now, she did say that Wayne did have a problem with Young Thug with the whole Carter 6, Carter 5, all of that, plus the naked posing on the. I get that, but that's artistry. That's what artists do, and it also made both of them a whole lot of money. Let's not forget that part. But does that furtherance the Rico? I just don't see how that correlating the whole. I get the whole bus shooting, but if that's the situation, why is he just now being charged and associated or put together with that whole thing? Why was Young Thug, SB, none of these members that are still in court, or even the ones that took the plea, why none of them attached or locked up with the person who's actually responsible for the incident? Now, hopefully, YSL still to the stage, about to really change the game. Let's dig.
The part that you're talking about, all of the statements of a non-witness. I was told that Mr. Dwayne Carter, he's a performer known as Lil Wayne, he is not coming to testify. He's on the state's witness list. I asked if he's coming. They said no. They have no intention of calling him. So he's not a non-witness. So all of his statements are out-of-court statements. Prosecution says it's not hearsay because it's not being used for the truth of matter asserted. Yet they say it is being used for the truth of matter asserted to show a relationship, and it's intrinsically intertwined. So you can't have it both ways. If it's not for the truth of matter asserted, then you don't care what he says, or it's a lie. But they're saying no, it's actually an argument that Lil Wayne is angry at Jeffrey Williams, a performer known as Young Thug. So the first issue I asked the court is, I believe it's being used for the truth of matter asserted. If it's not being used for the truth of matter asserted, it shouldn't come in.
See, this is why I like YSL still, because he always catches a state. Now, nobody else in the courtroom said a word. Now, I'm sure YSL Adams was on top of it also, but still caught that. The state is trying to introduce evidence and that they're saying it's not going to be used, but it will be used. Like, how contradicting is that? And then to sit right in front of the judge and do that, like the prosecutor in the state, it's almost like they have an arrogance above the actual court. And the judge sometimes catches it, but a lot of times Miss Love just seems to argue till she gets her way. But it's interesting because still didn't let up. Let's dig.
The part is this. These are, from what I have on the slides, these are little segments. It's clear that Lil Wayne is doing something. He's performing in front of audiences, and he's making statements. I have no idea. I would tell you if I could get it. I have no idea what was said before or after those statements. I don't know if it was said in jest. I don't know if it's said for to gain notoriety. As the court heard from experts who are qualified, and an expert who is qualified to come in and talk about rap culture and the business in order to promote each other. Entertainers will get into arguments or do things together. They will promote their own concerts, they will promote their own albums, they will promote other people's concerts and other people's albums. Or they will get into an argument. They call it a rap battle. It's actually in one of the slides that you were told, a blogger. He talks about this is a rap battle. So they do it to gain notoriety for both of the artists. Without Lil Wayne coming in and testifying, we don't really know why he is saying these things.
A rap battle. Okay, I get it still. Great choice of words for whoever's listening. But a rap battle. We'll ride with that. Do rap battles happen in music? Absolutely. Are a lot of them orchestrated? Absolutely. Do the labels actually do that to push the sales? Absolutely. So why is it that the courts are acting like this is all new? Now, I'm sure between the two, Young Thug and Lil Wayne, I'm pretty sure that between the means and resources that they have, if it was supposed to escalate or go any further, it definitely would have went further, but it didn't. Now ask yourself this: why is it that the judge is allowing the prosecutor or the state to stockpile irrelevant evidence that doesn't tie anybody to anything? Is this Rico case really built off association, allegation, and snitching? Let that sink in. Let's dig.
There's foundation, there's authentication, but you're still going to have a separate hearsay objection as to what was said. Unless that's where you're going to probably need, since you got words and you got other context, you're going to need somebody else to testify about that. That's where I'm coming from. I mean, I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying that they're not going to be they wouldn't be relevant. You're just going to have to overcome some other hurdles. And right now, unless you're telling me that, I mean, there's of course a subject foundation. Mr. Wayne's not, Dwayne Carter, Lil Wayne's not going to testify. Or also, it'll also depend upon what your detective testifies as to. So, I mean, the gathering of the videos, that's what these cases kind of speak to. But they don't speak to the words they're in, and they don't speak to, because there are other objections that is predicated on. Mr. Steele's made one about hearsay. I would agree with that. So that's why I'm telling you, you're going to need to, think about that in terms of their admissibility. Okay?
And Your Honor, so if we provide to the court a non-hearsay purpose, so the court
No, I'm not this time. No. You need to, I'm telling you, the foundation, it's still going to have hearsay in it. You're still, I'm telling you right now. Now, if you tell me, like I've told you this 5-6 times now, if Mr. Carter's coming to testify, you're not going to have any problem with this. You get over a lot. You get over the hearsay issues that are in the video. You get over some other things that may be problematic, but I don't know why you don't want to call him and why you're kind of contorting this particular thing that, this particular introduction of evidence. But that's the court's ruling at this point in time. Is that I understand, you all understand what foundation is. You understand what authentication is. Those two things probably will be okay. It's what people are saying inside the videos that's going to be problematic without further foundation. Because we all know you can introduce stuff for all different types of reasons, but it's just like under 901 or 902 when you authenticate documents, okay? Or you have somebody in a civil case give you, or a criminal case give you a bunch of documents. Still within that particular set of documents are other objections that may be made and may be valid.
Now that was funny. Now, Ms. Love, no. And, you know, it's interesting because Ms. Love is the state prosecutor who enforces laws, rules, regulations, XYZ, but she just can't follow them. She doesn't take orders well. She doesn't take no well. She doesn't take rulings well. But this is what people on the other side of the courtroom are getting allegedly accused or set up to be convicted for. It's interesting just watching this. It's always something. She's always trying to introduce evidence. I always create a loophole. No means no. And it's just interesting because after she gets told no, guess what she does? Well, let me introduce a new celebrity. Pay attention. Let's dig.
So that takes care of the authentication of the foundation, but it doesn't obviate the other necessity to kind of overcome those particularized, issues in regards to that evidence. So that's my ruling at this point in time. You can think about it, and if you decide that that things change, or there's some other basis, then I'll certainly listen to it.
And so, Your Honor, I was looking at 24-803 as a hearsay rule exception, then existing mental or emotional state, a statement of the existing state of mind, notwithstanding their availability, is an exception to the hearsay rule. So even if
Lil Wayne, you're saying, Mr. Carter, you've got this list at this point in time. You still haven't been able to show unavailability.
it's with the declarant available, it doesn't require that he be unavailable, even though he's available as a witness. It shall not be excluded by the hearsay rule, even though the declarant is available as a witness under 24-803. There are other exceptions as well that I will present.
Mr. Steele?
So anyone's state of mind when they're speaking, then, according to what I just heard, then you don't have to bring it in court.
Yeah. I'm not buying that one, Ms. Love. Try another one. It seems like you all are trying really hard.
Thank you, Judge. I can't even count the number of times I've actually said thank you, Judge, during this trial since this actual trial started. But thank you for cutting Ms. Love off with this bullshit. Like, when is he gonna tell her enough is enough? Like, she's always trying to find something. Anybody with any type of mental state of mind can come in and get somebody locked up. These boys are fighting for their life over here. And anybody with any, man, let's dig.
Undue prejudice, showing my client threatening someone who is completely unrelated to this case. And there are multiple ways that I will never deny the association between Kandarius Zachary and Shannon Stillwell because they do know each other. They are associated. And that association is apparent throughout the discovery. So why we are playing this video, and if it has nothing to do with Lil Wayne and they want to show association,
Okay,
it's a little bit odd that the state wants to play
stop there
it.
just for a second. Stop. Let me just kind of inquire. Mr. Stillwell's reported threat. Who's he threatening?
Your Honor, he is threatening the artist known as The Game.
This has got to stop. Like, can she stop reaching? Like, damn, everybody is involved in this Rico case. Like, this is the biggest national Rico case. And it's a state case at that. This is like the biggest state Rico case in the history of Atlanta. Like, who put this case together? What's interesting is the feds haven't even tapped in or attempted to pick up on this case because it's a state case. Now, granted, Georgia does have the state Rico laws that are authorized by federal government. But ask yourself this. Why is it that they have all these different witnesses from the state? You got all these alleged witnesses from YSL, and you still having to introduce lyrics and tweets to prove a case? Is the case falling apart in front of our face? Is this the strongest part of the case that the state has? It's dead.
Okay,
Yes.
and what's the game have to do with this case?
So, Your Honor, if the court heard the video.
What does a game have to do with the indicted case that we have right now?
Mr. Stillwell's threat to the game on behalf of YSL is what made it relevant. But as to this,
How do we know that he's doing that on behalf of
because
YSL?
he says it in the video. I can play it again for the court.
All right, let me hear it.
That same shit got Biggie and Tupac killed, little fuck, nigga. Pussy ass, nigga, get your bitch ass. Yeah. Hey, gang, you bring pussy out here, you gonna see me. I'm at your fucking neck.
And so, Your Honor, as I
Hold on. You like what? I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Play it one more time. Stop it where you think it says YSL.
Yeah, they gonna get your bitch ass killed.
That's somebody else.
Hey, gang.
Your Honor,
Hey, gang.
okay, so
Okay, so you lied. Man, shout out to the defense, because, man, what a rebound from last week. But last week I thought they were burying the defense in Young Thug, and I was in here actually scratching my head. But this week, shout out to the defense for exposing all of the state's flaws. Man, Miss Love, you just won't stop. That man clearly did not say that. Just like the man didn't get out at the blue car at the gas station to take the gator. Just like nobody from the blue car got out to pump gas at the store. SB did not say YSL. It was somebody in the background. Then you even mumbled in the court. You can even hear it if you play it again. It was there. It was there. No, it wasn't. The judge even said it. It wasn't him who said it. And this is why you got to pay attention, because even though Young Thug and YSL members are actually fighting for their life, for their freedom at this time, the state actually seems like they got more to lose than the actual defense. And that's definitely something to pay attention to, especially when they're the ones presenting the case. Man, in my opinion, it's something big at play. They trying to link Nut to Young Thug. They want to link Lil Wayne to Young Thug. They just introduced Young Thug as a kingpin. Then they turn around and use all the different artists from the whole music industry: Drake, Lil Baby, Rich Homie Quan, Birdman, Lil Wayne. Now the game, like, the state is reaching. And at this point, it seems like the judge is actually starting to catch on. So ask yourself this: out of the motions that we learned today, it's safe to say that the state is simply throwing away the case? Or will the judge with his biased rulings actually give advantage to the state? The judge did say that he would have to actually go back and weigh some of the motions based off the evidence just to see if there's actually a foundation. But ask yourself this: how much evidence has been introduced to the jury without foundation? Is the word foundation just another way for the judge to just legally assist? Will the jury notice prejudice in the evidence and cause them to get this case dismissed? Like Matt Shaw said, will the state be able to lay foundation on something that just simply doesn't exist? Or is Young Thug and YSL Georgia State's first Rico that actually get dismissed? Man, I'm your host, Jay, and definitely appreciate y'all for watching today. Hey, man, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know exactly what y'all think. Was today another W for the defense? How they rebounded from last week? And ask yourself this: has the state actually introduced enough evidence to be the ones to actually get this case dismissed? Let that sink in. Man, until next time, y'all stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, the life you save might just be your own. Until next time, it's your boy Jay. Gone.